Now that charges have been filed in the city of Palm Springs corruption investigation, many are wondering what's in store for the city and some of those major projects that we just mentioned. KMIR's Kitty Alvarado sat down with the mayor and the city manager and joins us now with that conversation. Kitty, good evening.
Good evening, Gino. The city of Palm Springs has been under investigation for almost a year and a half. But now that charges have been filed by the district attorney, the mayor and city manager say it's time to look to the future. The past 17 months for the city of Palm Springs have not been easy. What started with the FBI raiding City Hall in September of 2015 culminated in criminal charges filed against the former mayor Steve Pugnet and developers John Westman and Richard Meany.
Richard Meany and John Westman were working together to bribe the mayor in exchange for influence, for favors.
Palm Springs City Manager David Reddy says hearing the district attorney announce the charges was tough.
All of us were shocked. Clearly this is the last thing that we ever wanted to happen.
He says even tougher, knowing the trust Palm Springs residents had in their city government was damaged.
There's nothing more important to me than integrity in government. That's what I do. And so obviously this has been hugely distressing and disheartening.
But Mayor Robert Moon says it's important for people to understand the process was thorough.
It was one person, one city employee, the mayor, and two developers who have been charged. And we saw the documents going out, I mean tens and tens and tens of thousands of documents. And they went through those and they found nothing in our processes that would cause any problems as far as the way the city operated.
And now both men say with the charges clear, they plan to focus on the downtown redevelopment project, which some have said is in jeopardy.
I don't see it as being in jeopardy. I'm very optimistic about the whole thing. Some people are worried that, the contracts, that all these contracts that were done between us and the developers are invalid. That's not true. And unless someone is found guilty, those contracts are still valid. And that's going to take a year, 2 years.
The council's committed to getting it done. So right now we're moving forward. If at some point in the future the legalities say we have to take a different approach, then that's what we're going to have to do. But I think the goal is in the community interest to get that project done.
The city manager says the city's future depends on it.
What we've done over the last 10 years, the convention center expansion, changing all our hotel stock and improving that, and the third leg of that stool, which was important to the downtown development. And those were the things that were going to drive our economy for the next 50 years.
But he says even more critical is mending the relationship between the city government and the people they serve.
The only way you can achieve that is if the community trusts our city government, and that's what I need to rebuild.
The mayor says despite the setbacks, the city's renaissance is unstoppable.
The city is booming, and by the time we're sitting here a year from now and that's all completed, it's going to be a totally even better city.
The city manager says there was no way of knowing about the alleged dealings because they happened outside of City Hall, and more documents on the deals in question will be made available online. And he says he's happy to meet with any Palm Springs resident who has questions about them. But for now, as you heard there, both the mayor and city manager say all projects are a go and they're very positive. Back to you.